using the static keyword with the function, right? As far as I know, static keyword means that if we apply this to the function like this, it means that this function only exists in the current file, I guess. Well, let's find out. Okay, we can do that. I think we also need to change the header. Declaration. Overlook volume static declaration. Oh. Let me check. Declare static function. Okay, so it seems like this error is from the header. Okay, previous declaration. Unused function. Okay, this is undefined reference in this one because we are using the static one. We change this into static function, so if we comment this out, it should be fine. Yeah, declare static but never define. Never define. Oh. Okay. Declare it as static void, then it compiles. And the same file. Set of its translation unit. should we declare static function? Careful before its definition. Which should use static? Since the function definition does the definition that won't be called from outside the same combination model that can not end in another model. Okay, so it looks like if we want to use static, we don't need to declare it in the header. The file. I saw people declaring it in the file. This looks pretty odd and fun. Static. One if tries. Hello, welcome, nameless. Currently, I'm trying to learn about static function in C. Okay, is someone. Where are you from? I'm from Indonesia, not Malaysia. Actual Indonesia. Actual Indonesian AI. Okay. Without defining it, the compiler will complain. Oh, is that i3? Oh, yes, this is i3 window manager. So, something it is not really unsafe. That this even sounding strange. No. What is the problem declaring static function in header file? What are the risks? What the impact in compilation time? Is there any risks in runtime? Small accessor function into return to update as a better replacement for static inline. Unlike macro static inline, C program static inline function. Oh, there is static and static inline. Okay. In a header file, not in C file. It's in not necessarily in exactly one to make a working C program with a non-static inline. By default, an inline definition is only found in the current translation unit. As externally gets an inline also provide the external definition. If the storage class is static, the identifier as internally gets and the inline is invisible in the translation unit. Let's try that. Static inline, something like this. Will we get... Oh, we still get the warning. Okay. The inline specifier, like the register storage class, is only a compiler here, and the compiler is free to completely ignore it. An internal static function definition within header as inline to make them inlineable. What is that? Inlineable. Object only in addition to to their parameters. Of defining the same function over and over again. Cannot fold them in one. So object code is modified, then to need some register shuffling to pass the parameters, whereas many compiler can avoid such for static inline and instead lock on the register that have data already. If inlining the function significantly increase the code size, the function should not be inline in the first place. I didn't win. You should never declare static function in the header without also defining in the header. There are reasons to define static function in header. When it's called but not defined, it is undefined behavior. Thinker will give an error. It is undefined. Decision being details on it's very keen to actually inline function mark static. So I had to add the no inline acquisition extension to verify no inline vignettes. This artificially result in exact duplicate of the static function being linked in the binary. Let's put okay. Evaluating enabling. First, I would like to clarify my understanding. The header contains only a static function, while the C file contains the definition. The function source code, okay. Alright. Okay. If this is the situation, I take the issue with your name. I need to define it. If you declare the function but do not use it in a given translation unit, I don't think you have to define it. This is accepted with a warning. The standard does not seem to forbid it unless I miss something. This is very important in your scenario because translation units which do not use the function but include the header with its declaration don't have to provide an unused definition. Which do not use the function but What is the problem declaring static function in header file? It is unusual, okay. Typically static functions are functions needed only in one file. Only one file. They are declared static to make that explicit by limiting their visibility. So basically like a local function, local to a file function, declaring them in it therefore is somewhat antithetical. What is antithetical again? If the function is okay, directly oppose or contrast. Okay. If the function is indeed used in multiple files with identical definition, it should be made external with a single definition. If only one translation unit actually uses it, the declaration does not belong in a header. Okay. Now this makes me curious. If I remove this, right, would I still able to compile? No. Okay. I cannot compile that because there is no what is it? Function prototype or tag. Function prototype, I guess, or declaration, right? Okay. And then let me try inside GDP. Okay. GDP command. Okay. GDP command. What is it called? is not null. Let's change that to null. Okay, next again. Malloc error, continue. Malloc fail. Okay. Hello, Kissy B boy. Welcome to on C++. What? I mean, I'm currently learning C, not C++. I'm still not sure how C++ works. So yeah, maybe next time. Okay, malloc fail. Okay. Yep, it works. Okay, and then is to insert a uniform function signature for different implementation in the respective translation unit. The common header leads to a compile time. A uniform function segment for different implementation. In the respective translation, different return types in C and C++. Different parameter types would cause a compile time error only in C, but not in C++. The common header leads to a compile time error for different return types in C. Okay, I think that is this one. Oh no, maybe this one. The compile time error for different return type. Different parameter type would cause a compile time error only in C, but not in C++ because function overloading. Okay. What are the risks? I do not see in your scenario. Include the function definition in the header. This may violate the encapsulation principle. Oh. What is the impact in compile time? Okay, a function declaration is small and its complexity is low, so the overhead of having additional function declaration in it is likely negligible. But if you create and include an additional header for the declaration in many translation units, the file handling overhead can be significant. Create and include an additional header for the declaration in many translation units. Okay. Interesting. Did I use this one? Alpha L, alpha delete. We are including this one. Let me check. Libraries in header cause namespace pollution. Included in header, it follows the namespace. We inform that such library should be part content to bare minimum. Should content to bare minimum. Since this header have a header code, the compiler does not complain while building. Good luck, man. Hope you make it big. Thank you, Arsman. Welcome. What you work for? Oh, I'm currently learning C. Learning C with this book. Let me copy this in the chat. Basically, we are trying to create a simple Lisp interpreter with C programming language. If you didn't know, Lisp is another programming language. This one. It's something like this. Let's say we have Python. We have this, right? And we are creating a simple interpreter like this. This is the Lisp syntax, this programming language syntax. Yeah, that's what we are working on. Okay, let me continue. Should content the bare minimum. Since these headers have a header code, I spared brands that use Gino auto tools to better demo library. Now when I try to build the library dynamically, now when I try to follow the code should look like it is currently because of namespace pollution. The context might be lost, and in a way, this encode goes beyond the scope of the source file. To be continued too, although and potentially even other headers if included in the intro tab definition. Edit line text into next step by providing a public and private header. A public and where is it? Where is the public and private header? This one include. Is this the private header? Interesting. probably some standard library includes in Windows. Probably needed to be left in the header since there are function declarations which depend on them. The use of file. Okay. File structure will become this. Includes item, okay. Again, on my own baseline, it hides out the inner working within item, okay. Because there is no file name. Doesn't include the item header and is not importing its declaration. Where headers are broken to private and public API. The public API, okay, goes inside the include folder, and the private header but in different folder. Oh, MVC_H in different directory, okay. Either stays in src or etc. The convention. Okay. There is already a pull request. No, I don't think so. At Vessel mode too. Greetings from Central Texas. Welcome, Matro. Okay, interesting. Private and public header file. Wait. That make me curious. Like, so to really factor this though, what is it called again? Namespace pollution, okay. What is namespace pollution? What is namespace pollution? What does this term namespace pollution mean, and why would making a method static help to prevent it? And the answer to find the term. The space in which name exists. Okay. The space in which the name exists. Let's say you have two pieces of code, one to handling lists, the other to handle trees. Now, both of these pieces of code would benefit from getNet function to assist in traversal of the data structure. However, if they put the find that function with the same name, you may have a class. Okay, what will your compiler do when you enter the following code? Another which get next do you actually want to use? Okay, there are numerous ways to solve this as object-oriented code where you would use okay, and that would automatically select the correct one by the way the fact you specified that you specified the type via the variable k. Even with mostly object-oriented code, there may be situations where you have a conflict, and that's where namespace enter the picture. They allow you to place the name into their own area so as to distinguish them. Okay. Let me copy this in the chat in case anyone wants to read this too. Wait. Let me check this. Where is it? The header again? Is it src? Include, okay. String tiran signal dot h, okay. Hello Asko, welcome. We are currently trying to learn C by reading this book. And let me copy this again. So we are trying to learn C programming language by creating a simple Lisp interpreter. In case you are new, Lisp is another programming language which have its own syntax. Here it is. Oh, hello, Philia. Hello, Philia. Welcome. So we are trying to learn C programming language by creating a simple Lisp interpreter. It is another programming language, and here is the example of what we are creating so far. Something like this. This one is a Lisp syntax as far as I understand. I mean, I have no experience with Lisp too, so it's like we are learning two programming language, learning C programming language and learning a little bit about Lisp programming language. And this is the comparison with Python programming language. In Lisp, the one with prefix operator, operation, and parentheses everywhere. Oh yeah, Lisp is the one with prefix operator and parentheses everywhere. That's a way to put it. You're correct. So yeah, I'm trying to learn C by creating a simple interpreter for Lisp. Just a simple one, not the not the complex one. The point is still learning C. That's the point. That is why I'm currently looking at the reference about C. For example, I want to try out using static function, right? So that's what I'm looking for at the moment. Like how do we how do we use, I guess, static function? And yeah, we are in the namespace now. But even with mostly code, they allow you to place the names to their own area. So as one example, okay. Namespace pollution is simply leaving your symbol in a namespace where they shouldn't really be. So I need to crisis, but it makes it more likely. Okay. Method static has to do with the names being made available to the word outside and linking, for example. Okay. With the code, okay, made available to the linker, the global one, I guess. Unless you have need to call get from somewhere else, making it static like this will prevent it from polluting the namespace maintained by the linker in C. Applying the static qualifier to a file-level object or function give it internal link edge. Okay. That you can have a static, okay, and for 100 different source file. They won't interfere with each other. Method static non-class functions are not visible outside of the translation units, which prevent pollution of the linking namespace. If the translation unit have a static object, they won't conflict when you link them together. This is better handled with anonymous namespace and the similar effect. I wonder what static functions are. I would understand if it's a static method, but I don't know what static does for top level function definition. I think I heard something recently about them. Something about being able to use multiple functions with the same signature if they are static. Okay. As far as I understand, if we are using static in the function like this, it means that this function alloc r only available in this file. So it's like a local file scope, I guess, something like that. So if we try to access this alloc r function, let's say in another file, in scripts.c, like this, okay, this one we are trying to access alloc underscore r, we will get an error. Let me try. Okay, implicit declaration of function alloc r. As far as I understand that. And if I want to make another, what is it, another static function like this, it working fine should be, oh yeah, but never defined. Okay, let me just delete this and see. Okay, yeah, we just got a warning rather than an error because we haven't defined the alloc error, and we can define alloc error with different definition other than in this file. So yeah, that is as far as I understand. Reminds me of algorithm course that we took in first semester of university. One of the tasks was to write our own language inside JavaScript. One of my group mates used Japanese for syntax purpose. Oh, interesting. So, one of your group mates using, what is it, kanji character for the syntax, or maybe what, hiragana. I mean, I don't have any knowledge about Japanese language, so that is interesting for syntax purpose. Okay, wouldn't it be inline? Can you somewhat check what code looks like after pre-processing? Wait, which pre-processing do we want to check? Is it the pre-processing of this one, or maybe this one, the scripts one? I think we can do that. Let me put this in pager. This is the pre-processing without the linking, I guess. Extension type def. Oh, okay, yeah. I still have no idea about what extern is. Yeah, maybe we will explore that later on. Okay, there is a lot of stuff going on. Okay, this kind of make me curious. I mean, if I include the mpc.h or mpc header in this utils header file, will I have like a duplicate if I include this utils header file in multiple file? I mean, did I get a duplicate from the mpc header file when I include the header file that uses it? Let's looking for that information. C programming using header file multiple times. To make this, once only header file with what is this? I think compiler replaces every call to static function with its body. Replace every call to static function with its body. Maybe. Wait, let me check. What is it called again? Alloc air. Okay. Oh, we don't have alloc air in here in the pre-processing step. Oh, interesting. Wait, but oh, right, because the header doesn't contain the alloc air. Let me try looking for F. Yeah, there is one. Right, okay. At least in the pre-processing step, we didn't have the static, well, because I didn't put this static function in the header file. So yeah, that's kind of makes sense. That would explain why we can define it more than once and use in current file only. Oh, maybe. Yeah, I mean, currently I'm still not sure too. Like, what is going on under the hood, right? Let me check that. What happened when we use static function? Oh, why and when? Okay, let's see the GNU manual. File scope variable. If one compilation module contains okay, that code compilation module can call for anywhere after the definition. But let me hide this. But other compilation module cannot refer to it at all. That won't be called from outside the same compilation module are not entered in other module. And calling convention or understand all the consequence of its use, they will only have to check for call in the same compilation module. Okay. Yeah, there is no explanation. Well, at least I didn't find that yet. What happened? What compiler do with static function? What is a static function? Let me try the another scraper. Oh, okay, but this is static variable. I think it's kind of different, right? The data segment, and I forgot what it is called. the PSS block what? Better safe space. PSS stand for better safe space. Let me. Okay. I think it is block something. Right? I kind of forgot what PSS segment stand for. But yeah, calling it better safe space might be easier to remember. Better safe space. Block. Or maybe I need to put that in here. Wait. PSS background. No. No. Block. No. I didn't save that. Okay. I'm trying to have a global function. Let me search. No. Nope. I forgot to save what PSS stands for. Block started by symbol, alright. Let me zoom this. Block started by symbol. PSS segment, okay. Started by symbol, alright. But yeah, better safe space is a new term. Block started by symbol. Okay. Is the server keyword prevent compiler optimization? Does it compile discard statistically linked? Okay. Embed into the main executable at compile file. Yep, we also use this static library, I guess. It's in lib, so I don't need to compile the parser over and over again. Compile it once and then embed, I guess, into the main executable at compile time. That when used by main.c. What the compiler discard this function? This question is by common messaging that using static library makes common messaging using static libraries make executable larger. That is interesting. I'm curious if the compiler at least strip away and just code from an archive file that squarely belongs to unused function get optimized. Let me copy this in the chat in case anyone wants to read this too. Well, remove unused function. Some lit, okay. This is always throws unused use variable warning. Okay, macros are. It depends. Okay, macros are converted to program text. Okay, during the pre-processing. During the pre-process, macros convert to the whatever it expand, right? Macro expand during the pre-processing. They don't represent anything other than the text that replaced them, right? And don't live beyond compile time. Unless, okay, interesting. Local variable inserts are likely removed if they don't have non-trivial constructor or destructor. You don't want something like just because you don't reference it later. Such are likely removed in the code. The same hold for variable and function with internal linkage. The same hold for variable and function with internal linkage. Define ethnic space scope with the keyword static. In most cases, however, the resource needed for such is minimal and the saving negligible. Okay. Interesting. Are a bit different and function are a bit different and depends. Let me copy this in the chat too, in case anyone wants to see this. Functions are a bit different and depend. A virtual function will generally be considered use if there is ever an instance of its type, and it will almost certainly be present even if it is never called. Beyond that, and this applies to global variables as well, it is up to the linker. Yeah, I'm still not sure how the linker works at this point. And can we check what is the linker do? Let's find out how to check the linker process. Linking process work. Processing, okay, right. We can check the pre-processing with this CPP program, not C++, but C preprocessor, right? Check with this, what is the result of pre-processing. Compilation takes the preprocessor output and produce an object file from it. Okay. The linker takes the object file produced by the compiler and produce either a library or an executable file. You can link different executable. I think there is some reference to different executable or library in final machine code. Linker says that there is a requirement to load another binary and search for it. And there's a requirement to load another binary. I may be wrong. No worries. I mean, I'm also not sure, you know. If we can see like what the linker does. It's just impractical to compile the same code for different apps. Just impractical to only compile it once, right? Persisted and then link them if needed, right. I mean, if I remember correctly, that is why there is this, what is it called? There is this shared library, right? The .so file. Right. Where is it? Is it in the include? Maybe this one. Let's find out. User include delete. Oh, sorry. That's why, if I remember correctly, there is the header file and the set object file, which I kind of forgot which it is. But yeah, there is this .so file, right? So we can, compile it once and then link those set object or static library during the linking process. So we don't need to compile it over and over again. And I kind of do that with this one. Instead of using the set library, I'm using the static library instead. I think we can check this libmpc.a archive, I guess. Let me check. Yeah, it's basically archive library, something like that. So yeah, compile it once and then use it with, what is it called, when needed, right? What distro is this? I'm using Arch Linux. Yeah, it's header file. It only content definition, or well, I think you can also put the struct, right? I mean, I'm not sure if this is the, the proper way of using header file. I mean, do we only need, do we only put the function prototype in the header file like this, or maybe we can put the struct too? Yeah, I'm still not sure. Okay. It's up to the linker, okay. This is interesting though. Using static library make executable larger. I kind of want to check that out. If that statement is true or not. I mean, currently we have this 100 kilobyte. Okay. Let's do this. PC compiler, no. This one, the main compiler. Okay, and then the lib one. It has to become like this. Now the output, let's say 1. Okay, let's see. What is the size of the final executable? Okay. There is some difference, but yeah. Is it really that big? I'm still not sure. Things that can be considered a definition. And many program and scale. Alright, it's okay. I mean, let's learn together, But here's the thing, I'm also not sure, so my hypothesis might be wrong too, right? And that is why I want to try things out to check whether my hypothesis true or not. For example, this one. There is the, what is it called? There's a statement that using static library make executable larger. So I'm trying this out without the, without the archive or static library, right? So we compile this code and then linking them together, and it looks like there is some difference, because again I'm using this script test1 as the executable name, right? Looks like there is some difference, but is it really that significant? I mean, how? Yeah, I'm not really sure, but it is make things larger, make the executable larger, I guess. So yeah, maybe that is something to keep in mind. So I'm curious if the compiler. Funny how the answer here for outperform the linked and aside I create the question belong to. For outperform the link answer and aside I create the question belong to. Some runnable example with, yeah, I mean, I know there is exists this object term, right? But yeah, I'm still not sure how to read those information. Yeah. I mean, we have this information, but what it means, I'm still not sure yet. Maybe one day. Method should be the same if you pass badly. One copy is like 1024 characters more. Right. I mean, there's a difference, right? That's the point. But yeah, I'm not sure if it is significantly larger than, what is it? Than not using the archive file. And you know what? Maybe I should try making the utils also a library file. Let's try that out. Where is it? Okay. I need to copy this. Let me copy this first. And then I need to copy this. Okay, and then I see, okay. Instead of npc.c, we use utils.c, and then we get the object file, right? Okay. Utils. Wait. No object file. That is interesting. There should be an object file, right? Let me try with MVC. Let's see. Okay. Oh, okay, right. I put, what is it called? I put the object file on git ignore. My bad. Okay, so there is the object file, and now we try this. npc utils. Okay. That's great. Okay. Now there is 2, right? With 14 kilobyte. Okay. And then let's try this one. Scripts to, okay. We remove this and this. We paste it with npca and also lib utils. this. Let's find out. Oh, interesting. Scripts too. Yeah, maybe it is negligible because the archive or static library is not that much. Maybe. So yeah, I'm still not sure. Like 1000 more instruction. If memory is offering well. I don't think size difference should worry you. I think it mainly matters for hardware software where space is limited. Yeah, and I think it will only be if used a lot. Yeah, I'm just curious, I guess. Like, is there really any difference using the static library or not? Seems like there is some difference, but yeah, unless we use some hardware with limited specification or limited system resource, then it should not be a concern that much, but it is there just in case we need to debugging something, right? By default, linkers handle object file as a whole. Okay. In your example, the executable will end up containing the code. Okay. And any object file from. Oh, right. I think. Yeah, I don't really remember. We can check the. What is it called? What is in the archive file? I think using T, maybe, or L. Maybe using T. Let's try. I don't really remember. You see, no lib, PCA. Right, okay. So we can check what object file in the archive or static library. Okay, which means that we can, what is it called? We can put this into one archive file. I think we can do that. Something like this. Utilify npc.o for the object. And then looking at this, now we have two object files, utils.o and npc. Okay, can we like updating? Okay. I don't think we can use that. Yeah, I'm not really sure how to update that. Add an index to the or update it if it already exists. What is the R again? insert file member into archive with replacement key in that any previous existing member are deleted if their name matches those being added. If one of the file name does not exist, display an error message. And without checking for replacement, the error using the replacement updated if it already exists. There can only be one common letter, as it is possible to use it. Interesting. Fill modifier with this operation. Let's try that out. Extract fee. So, do we have if you do not specify a member or files in the extract, let's find out the case. A file in the archive. Okay, let's check that out. Okay, we got the new object. Okay, but it is still there, right? Lips. I think it is still there. Okay. Print. Delete module from the archive. Okay, so we can do this, I guess. npc.o. Let's check. Okay, yep. The disk arrow does not delete the existing one. Okay, this no odd member deleted. Okay, okay, then compiler. Won't necessarily include all of, okay, but the granularity it can use isn't function, it's object file. Section, okay. The reason for this is when a given compared to an object file, information from the source code is lost. In particular, the end of a function isn't stored, only its start. And since multiple functions can be combined, it is very difficult to determine an object file what can actually be removed if a function is unused. forward compiler and linker to the better than this if they have access to the extra information needed. For example, like speed C programming environment on the 80s Mac could use project as libraries, and since it had the full source code in such cases, it will only include functions that were actually needed. A modern system. Okay. Let me put this so we can use another value. Put this in here. Put here, okay. And link to final program, okay. See this got in GCC for the tile. Is link time optimization. Okay. This is interesting. Okay. Am I liking? Not yet. Only heater. Oh. Happen to be include twice, the compiler will process its contents twice. What let me do this. About heater file. The standard way to prevent this is to enclose the entire real content of the file in a conditional. Okay. Is commonly known on wrapper. Data is included again. Is the file. Keep over the entire content of the file, so that compilation will never see the file contents twice in one module. When a header file is a wrapper, let me write this if a square and the macro is still defined. It does not bother to rescan the file at all. And the header file also the wrapper. Controlling macro or quad macro, and the user header file, the macro name should not be connect underscore double underscore. Okay. Avoid conflict with user program. Should contain the name of file Interesting. So we are processing the content twice. Interesting. I remember there is some macro at Pragma once that deal with this problem. Oh, I'm not sure what Pragma is. Is that specific? Is that a program? Pragma. Oh, Pragma directive. Okay. Yeah, this is new. Directive survives the previous. Are machine specific or operating? That the compiler to do something, set some option and take some action. Implementation specific. Okay. Let me copy this in the reference. Pragma directive. Okay, I think that's it for now. I need to go. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.